Hey everybody! My knowledge of Sweden is pretty much limited to ABBA, that Muppet chef with the human hands, and a certain team of bikini-clad models that seemingly competed in beer-chugging competitions. All things that were very important to me during my formative years. But sausage is the link to all cultures, so today I'm making this Swedish potato sausage that everyone's gonna love. So let's get started. Let's get started by looking into the meat and potatoes of this recipe. And different recipes have different ratios of the meats and potatoes, so to simplify things, I'm going to be using equal parts of beef, fatty pork, and boiled potatoes. And those can be skin-on or peeled potatoes. The starch in these potatoes should act as binder, and adding in potato is also a good way to stretch your meat. And on hard times, it's always a good idea to stretch your meat. Now I have everything very cold and chopped up, so I'm ready to load gnarls up with this pretty coarse 6mm grinding plate and grind this grub. Now let's take a look at the spices for this tater tube, and as it goes with Swedish furnishings, the seasoning for this sausage is pretty minimalist. Just some onion, salt, and a few of the warming spices. And from what I gather, this is one of those very home-style recipes for which there are many slight variations from family to family. So I'm going with the most common flavors that show up in different recipes. Starting with the onion. And while most recipes run the onion through the grinder with the meat and potatoes, I'm going to put the onion in my little food processor and process it down to fine bits. I'm a big onion flavor guy, but not so much a chunky onion guy. But you can go ahead and grind your onions if you like. That'll spare you an extra piece of equipment you need to clean. Of course, I've got some salt, and for the spices, I've got some allspice, some white pepper, and some nutmeg. And you could substitute mace for the nutmeg if you like. And I always like to use fresh ground spices whenever I can, so I'm going to grind these up fresh with a coffee grinder today. But if you don't want to grind your own, go ahead and use pre-ground spices. I'd only advise that if those pre-ground spices aren't dead fresh opened, add in just a pinch more than you would with fresh spices, because those little jars tend to lose intensity over time. I am resisting the urge to add in some chopped fresh parsley because I think that would be a nice tasting and aesthetically pleasing addition, but I didn't see that in any recipe I looked at, so I'm going to stay more traditional, at least for the first go-round. I've got my ground meat and potatoes, ground up onions, and all my ground spices. So it's time to mix this one up. And it's just a small batch today, so there's no need to break out any machinery. And all you home cooks know that the best way to do this is just to get your mitts right in there. And this one I'm not going to mix a whole bunch, just to get it a little bit gooey and make sure everything is thoroughly incorporated. No need to mix the heck out of this like I would with a smoked sausage. Probably make a fine meatloaf with this. Looks like I'm just about there. This one has almost a biscuit dough-like consistency to it. Very interesting feeling. My meat dough is ready. I'm going to be using natural hog casings today, and these have been soaked and rinsed. I've got some handy little silicone eggs that I can use to throw down into the bottom of the stuffer when I get there to force out as much meat as possible. And Corn Pop is ready to take care of business.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
So now it is time to lock and load and crank out this Nordic knockwurst. That's a good-looking sausage. This Swedish potato sausage is now ready to cook. I do like to let most of my sausages rest for a little while just to let those flavors kind of mingle around in there and meld together. So I'll get things cleaned up around here and then we'll cook one of these up and give it a try. Oh yeah, that has a nice smell about it. Looks great. Of course, what really matters is the taste. Check out that bite. Oh yeah. Get in there one more time. Well, my first impression is, Mamma Mia, that is a juicy wiener. I'm guessing the potato helped to trap all the juices in this Scandi sausage. That is nice. It's also got a very appealing texture. It's nice and tender and has sort of a smooth mouthfeel to it, but it's still nice and meaty. As for the flavor, it is nice and mild and comforting. It's winter here right now, and with the cold weather, a little festive flurry of allspice and nutmeg just feels right. But what I really love about this is the onion. That is money, money, money. Potatoes and onions are just a perfect natural pairing, and it's a very distinctive and delicious element in this sausage. This one has a very nice and understated kind of flavor, and I have a dream of doubling up on all the spices and the onion to make a Swedish super sausage. But for now, I am thoroughly enjoying this sausage, and I am so glad that I tried it. And I hope you take a chance on it too, and if you do, I know you're gonna love it. Happy New Year!